Vegas, right here on VANR. That's VegasAllNetRadio.com, which means it's time for Vegas Unwrapped. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. Now, without further ado, here are your hosts, Aaron Phillips and Ricky Cash.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the surprise edition of Vegas Unwrapped Internet Radio, coming to you from the studios of Vegas All Net Radio in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada, where it is a paltry 65 degrees currently on my phone. Official temperature at McCarran Airport. We're sorry to share that with the East Coast, given the fact that you're getting buried with snow and cold and all that stuff. But we love it here in Vegas. Mr. Cash, how are you, sir?
What was the high we hit for today?
You know, I didn't see the high, but I got to imagine it was knocking on 70.
70 at 71
Yeah,
again.
I mean, I saw 80 by the end of the week, which is tomorrow, maybe into the weekend. So Who knows? Who knows? But we want to thank you for tuning in tonight. Another edition of Vegas Unwrapped.
Trying to think of the last name?
No, I was trying to figure out how to segue from the end of last week's show into this week's show.
Well, we've corralled all the farm animals. And we've examined them carefully.
Yes, we have.
And we have figured out the difference between the different
genitalia?
Foot structures on
various
other animals.
There you go. Good job.
You know, the pig resembles that a little bit, too, you know.
It's the split hoof. Yes, it certainly does, but it's not kosher.
Now, that goes back to the camel now. Is the camel kosher?
Well, I don't know. Do they have a split hoof?
Well, would you think it would?
I guess it would, based on last week's description.
I mean, even I got that.
We're getting close to getting a foot and mouth disease here.
That's right.
I am really so
By the way,
sorry.
I want the world to know that Ricky Cash was not the only person in the world that did not know the true full meaning of the term camel toe.
Yes.
Who was the second one?
President Ted.
President Ted.
He didn't know either.
Which surprised
That
me.
figures he's your best friend.
Well, he's my oldest friend, I'll tell you that. He gave up the title of best friend when he didn't know what camel toe was.
Well, we're certainly digressing here early, which is fine because we've got the comparative side of that topic, which we'll delve into in the second hour. But we want to thank you.
What are you smirking about over there?
I wish I had a camera on Bobcat.
that would have been
last week,
perfect, right?
Because Bobcat was just tremendous last
He was
week.
banging the wall.
Oh, he was. He was gone.
He was out of it.
We lost him.
It was great.
It's a good thing he came back just long enough to get us off the air last week.
Good TV.
I didn't think he was going to make it.
No.
Good TV for radio, right?
Thank God we're
absolutely.
on the radio station we are, because we would have never made it.
No, absolutely right. Well, the other voice you're hearing is our video operator, Mr. John JPeg Styles, is joining us at the mic, and of course, Mr. Bobcat as well, working the board. Here's what's going on. We are expecting some phone-in guests.
Can you say hoping?
Hoping,
because I'm not expecting.
praying.
That's better. That is much better.
What other,
much more
what other
accurate.
words can
Praying,
we use?
you got it right on the nose. Praying is perfect.
Praying is good. Praying that for the next, starting at quarter after the hour, the following 45 minutes after that, we're going to have some guests that...
Famous phone guests.
Famous phone guests. And folks, I have no clue who they are because the person who's arranging this for us has yet to get a list to me. So they
She tends to be a little, and I hope you're listening.
I don't know if she is, but I know Bart is listening in Arizona, so I'm going to give a shout out to Bart Zeller. He's listening.
Bart.
Yeah.
What do you do with that scatterbrain?
702-483-4444 is our number.
Hey, listen, I like Amy.
Vegas All Net Radio is our
She is
Skype line.
scatterbrain. Come on now.
You can send your comments to VegasUnwrappedRcash
at gmail.com.
So we're praying that we get some of these calls. Otherwise, we've got 2 hours to fill.
I'll give you a perfect example.
Go for it.
Yesterday, Amy posted all of these great guests that were coming on Vegas Unwrapped tonight. She
Meaning
said.
yesterday.
Meaning yesterday.
Right.
Tonight. And in each one of them, I wrote back, Vegas Unwrapped is on Thursday night, 7 to 9 p.m.
Yeah, they'd have been very lonely here if they called in.
Well, they would have made
whatever show was on yesterday
very
at 7
interesting.
o'clock.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Is there a show on Wednesdays at 7?
Hold on just a second.
Because it would be interesting because when,
you should know this.
the likes of Hank Aaron calls up or...
Well, if we don't get somebody by 7:30, I'll go out and pull some people off the street. We'll get somebody in there.
I'm telling
That would have been the Mr. Bruce Riddell show.
Oh.
And what's Bruce doing?
Bruce is a MC. He does wrestling and...
I know Bruce Riddell.
Yeah, and he does the
Is that
wrestling.
Bobby's dad?
No, it's not Bobby Stacey.
No, he works for Joe DeFalco and the Future Stars of Wrestling
Future Stars
organization.
of Wrestling, that is true.
Right.
And he does a comedy thing over at the Commerce Center. What is that theater over there? The Onyx Theater. The Onyx Theater. He does a show there.
Cool.
Gotcha.
So much for that.
Yeah. So all right. So then if they called in yesterday during Bruce's show, it has sort of worked.
Yeah, I think so. Because
Would've worked.
Bruce is obviously, if you can do wrestling, you do anything.
Absolutely.
No
I want to
question
do
about it.
wrestling.
I know you do.
I want to do wrestling, but we're going to do wrestling in a couple of weeks. Sort of.
I'm kind of looking forward to it because I've never met a pro wrestler before, and this should be interesting.
You've got to pull them up on Wikipedia and do a little homework on
Oh,
the
of
guy.
course I will. What do you think? Yeah, I might
bullshit.
be old, but I'm not dead.
Bullshit.
And the Bobcat might have a special surprise for you that night, too.
Cool. When we're recording,
Well,
because we're recording the interview on the 2nd.
okay, but you will be here that night to do the show live, correct?
No, the 2nd is a Monday.
Okay.
We're recording the interview with Bob Backlund on the 2nd to air either on the 5th or the 12th.
More likely it'll interview on the 12th because he's
I'll be out of
he's
town.
trying to get out of town on the 5th.
Well, then when we do that, we will hook you up with Mr. Big Daddy Paul Eubanks, who is one of the original masked assassins.
Masked
cool.
assassin.
Yes. You mentioned him last
He's a
week.
very
Cool.
good friend of mine.
All right.
That'll be fun.
Hey, where'd you get those spiffy headphones, man?
These are mine.
They're cool.
I've had them for months. Yes.
I was going to
That's
bring
the
mine
first time
too.
I've noticed them,
I
yeah.
have a pair.
Yeah.
My old ones, which you don't bring.
It's not that I don't bring them. I lose track of them.
It's either that or it's
No, they're
glasses.
hanging on the hook. They're hanging on the hook right behind your front door, which you pass every time you go out of your frickin' place.
Like I said, I forget things.
He's just getting old, man.
By the way, have you gotten
Tell me about
cartridges
it.
for your printer?
No,
This is the last week I'm printing shit for you.
I got that.
All right.
We do have some outdated office equipment here for sale if you'd like some, sir. Very cheaply, too.
Outdated.
Very good equipment.
The problem is you got to buy cartridges
Yeah,
for
you do
them.
have cartridges.
Damn cartridges.
Just give them crayons. That's all.
Thank you very much.
Now, in the second hour, we're going to have
That's a sketch.
we're going to etch a sketch. The original iPad, by the way.
6 minutes. That's all it took.
In the second hour, we're going to lead off with doing it with Styles.
Really?
Yeah, I think we're going to lead off with doing it with
crap, I
Styles in the
should have
second
prepared
hour.
something then.
Praying that we don't need him in the first hour. And then we're going to talk about Super Bowl. We'll talk about the commercials. We'll talk about some dates in history if we want to. So we're going to be wide open today.
We're prepared.
VegasAllNetRadio.com. If you have to leave your computer, you can download the mobile app in your Play Store. Just check out Vegas All Net Radio or VANR and download it to your phone. Any shout-outs, Mr. Cash?
Always shout outs. I mean, we haven't heard from some people in a while. We haven't heard from Bella, but she's been going through some health problems out in the West Coast.
Did you send out her stuff like she
I
has?
am in the process.
Okay.
Listen, I've gotten a few already ready to mail.
All right.
Now, I'm getting a hard time from Lois because you know why.
I know.
And
she wants her stuff before you get out
before
there.
I get out there, and I think it's so much easier just putting it in my suitcase.
Yeah, I agree.
So over the next, what do you agree with?
I agree with you. I would just take it out there.
Yeah,
Because it's costing you more to take it with you based on the price of your ticket than the stamp to put on the envelope.
There you go, and it could be a couple of stamps because I got all these shirts and
It's gonna
all this other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, her husband Michael went to London today.
Today?
Yeah, he usually goes every year, but this year he wasn't going to go because he's a big soccer follower, big English Premier League. And the last 2 or 3 years, he's gone out there.
Right.
And she told me that he left for today. I said, wow, I didn't think he was going to go because he said last year was his last year. But no, he's out there for a week. He's going
Wow.
to see 2 Premier League games. I should have known that ahead of time. He could have called in and given us a report, a live report from England.
That would have gone over well. What's the time difference?
It's probably about, let's see, it was 6
8
hours from the
hours.
East Coast. No, it's 9.
Yeah, now it is, yeah.
Yeah, 6 hours from the East Coast and
Ahead.
9 hours.
They're 9 hours
They're
ahead.
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
5, 4, but 4 in the morning there.
yeah,
I'm
I just can see him calling us up.
Right, I was going to say, I'm sure he'd appreciate making a call at 4 in the morning.
And he'll probably be back by next Thursday when we get on again. So much for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lois, is that a long enough shout out for you? give me a hard time today, boy. I'll tell you, she can be tough.
Well, hey, listen.
Yeah.
But I bet she knew what a camel toe was. Did you ask her?
Yeah.
Did you know?
Yeah.
See?
Oh well, it just goes to show you.
Yeah. JPeg, any shout-outs? Anybody you got to say hello to out there in Radio Land?
Not on the air.
Not on the air. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have one.
Okay.
Hey, how's it going? You know who you are.
Oh,
pretty cool.
oh. Hey, did you see that video of that plane in Thailand?
Yes!
I just
Yes!
coming over the bridge.
Yes! And hitting the side of the bridge.
And I've been there.
Not just hitting the bridge, but he clipped the taxi that was
yeah,
driving
he
too.
did clip the taxi?
Clipped the
Yeah.
taxi, then clipped the bridge and went over. Holy shnikes.
Wow, I saw that last night. I almost jumped out of my skin.
Yeah,
That was-
58, 59 lives were lost or something like that.
Can you imagine the noise if you were, on that bridge and the windows of your car were open? The noise, that must have been, it probably worse than a bomb.
What about the guy who filmed that?
In the car behind it, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost looks like it was staged in a movie.
It did, and that's everybody thought.
I mean, it came
first.
in, it literally went down
Perpendicular.
sideways.
Yeah, came down, wheel down, or wing down. Crazy stuff. Anyway,
Now, if you're on that plane, what are you doing?
kissing your ass goodbye is what you're doing.
Pretty much so.
I don't know that I'd want to be flying out of any Asian countries right now
Are you
because
kidding
Malaysia,
me?
Thailand,
Are you kidding me? There's no chance.
they don't have a good track record right now.
No, sorry, Bob. Yeah, I'm
running
going to
some issues.
Indonesia. Goodbye and good luck.
exactly.
See you on the other side.
Exactly. See you with Amelia Earhart somewhere for crying
Jeez,
out loud.
you
Oh,
kidding me?
my goodness gracious. All right. So what else is happening? Bobcat, what's going on in your world there, sir?
I'm just counting down to less than 21 days away from the Great American Race, so and I'm ready to go stock car racing and everything else. So we're happy. Our credentials have been cleared, and just like to say hi to all my family and friends and all of our listeners out there. Enjoy the show tonight.
You're
there
going
you go.
out there?
Where?
You're going to be in Daytona?
Well, we initially had tried, but certain things didn't work out, so we will be here. But we've just announced, and we're putting the final thing together for our show. We're going to be doing a big giveaway coming October that we're going to send a lucky listener and a guest to Martinsville, Virginia, to one of the oldest historic running tracks. It'll be a round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, $500 spending money, and the Martinsville Speedway will turn these people on to a first-class day as they will get to see race number 5 of the 2015 chase. Yes.
That sounds amazing.
So we've got this all
Where
lined
do I
up.
sign?
On pitroadracing.com for details starting on Monday.
All right.
That's pretty cool.
So,
Yeah,
but
really.
just like to thank everybody here and all the people that listen to the fine program.
I'd like to go to the race in Vegas, and it doesn't even. It could be the one before it. The nationwide.
Yeah.
I'd just like to see one live.
One line.
You can't go until you get your knees fixed.
Oh, because
I
of the
said-
walking, right?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, you will. It's. I mean,
Yeah, I get you.
even with media parking, you still do some walking.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
Well, is it? Let me ask you this, because where we were with you at the go-kart track, is it further than that?
Oh, my
to
God.
walk?
Oh, yeah.
It would be like walking from here to the link.
not quite.
It's a long walk.
It's a hell. All right,
yeah,
here
more
to
realistic.
Decatur.
Yeah, I would say that would be really respectful.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's
That's over a mile.
yeah, it's about
it's a
mile.
schlep.
Yeah.
And it's uphill both ways.
In the snow.
Uphill
With no
both
shoes.
ways. Uphill both ways.
Oh man.
I was born at night, John. Not last night.
Just the night before.
Yeah, maybe earlier in the week.
Oh my goodness
Oh
gracious.
goodness! But that's what I am. It's a good time, and they do have they're very good here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway about having golf carts and helping get people to and from the parking areas. They do have shuttle trains and things like that, so you don't have to walk all the way.
It's still pretty cool.
Yeah, great time.
It's still a long walk.
Yeah.
It is. It certainly is. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Charlene Ruiz. She's a young lady that I met this week in one of my networking groups and had the pleasure of spending 2.5 hours with her this morning over breakfast. And she is.
Is that your story?
That's mine. I'm sticking to it.
All right.
Of course, I will have to send you the link to.
What
like
color's her hair?
Brunette.
Okay.
She is into fitness. She is a life coach. As a matter of fact, we know the same people in some circles. But she is the co-director of the Miss Nevada Latina pageant system here in Las Vegas, and that is tentatively set for April 5th, which is a Sunday. And I asked Mr. Cash if he was brushing up on his Spanish.
See?
Because it. Jalapeno on a stick, because it looks like Phillips and Cash may be involved in possibly emceeing that.
Muy
that
bueno.
Muy bueno.
Si, senor.
Mucho frio. Mucho and fuego. So I want to give a shout out to Charlene, and she does some other things. She's a mortgage broker and whatnot, and we're going to do some. You're going to hear a lot more from her and what she does in the coming weeks here.
Got
on
a
Vegas
new
Unwrapped.
member
Got a new member
for the Ricky Cash
for the
fan
Ricky
club.
Cash fan. By the way, I want to just let our folks know, make it real simple to join the Ricky Cash fan club and help us help others. Just go to our Vegas Unwrapped Internet Radio Facebook page. God bless you. And underneath the cover photo, you'll see a call to action button that simply says sign up. Click on that. It'll take you direct to our GoFundMe page. And I want to welcome Gabby Raymond, who joined us this past week as a Diamond member. Now, Gabby, and I'm going to quickly pull up her page here so I don't mess up.
I immediately befriended her.
Yes. She is a former, she's a vet. She's a vet. She's a former military. She was a paratrooper.
Holy
we had
crap.
we had a great conversation, and she started a foundation called United Healing Veterans. It's a nonprofit
I saw that,
organization.
yeah.
I invited you this morning.
Yeah.
What they do is for those who are vets who come into or live in Vegas who need services, okay, and don't know where to turn, like a chiropractor or massage or whatever, she has a whole network, and she's building a network of referrals
Oh, nice.
so that this way she can refer people. And that was the person that Nicole asked us to get tickets for last week, was for Gabby and her
Right.
and her company. So Vegas Unwrapped donated 3 sets of show tickets, a couple of meal tickets. We gave them a couple of Vegas Unwrapped T-shirts to pass on to the family. So yeah, check out her page. Like I said, it's United Healing Veterans on Facebook is that page, and then you could just check it out online as well. And we'll be hearing more from her as well. She'll be coming on. She's got some events coming up, and we'll have her on to share her organization as well.
Yeah, I need to talk to her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, give her, contact her
Yeah.
through Facebook. But yeah, so anyway, contact her through Facebook. Go to Vegas Unwrapped Internet Radio on Facebook. Go to the sign up button, and it'll take you right to our GoFundMe page with the backup story behind how we started the Ricky Cash Fan Club, why, and where the proceeds go to, and all the goodies you get depending upon your level of membership.
Absolutely. Really, really good. It's been 6 months already.
I know, 6
No
months.
kidding.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
we're pretty excited
September
about that.
4th, right?
Wow.
So we're kicking butt. The membership is growing, and more people are getting shirts and buttons and pens and all that good stuff. All right, that does it for round number 1. The phone is not ringing off the hook, so I guess coming back in our next segment, it'll still just be us talking.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
I got some sports lined up.
All right, we'll do that coming back after the break. How's that? Vegas Unwrapped, you're listening to it. Phillips and Cash, Bobcat on the board, JPeg behind the camera, and you, the listener. We'll be back with a sports update right after this. All right, welcome back to Vegas Unwrapped. As we're still waiting for our phone lines to light up with our surprise guests, we will move on.
You mean there aren't 10
We
people
will move on.
hold?
I got 5 lines for you, gentlemen.
We will move on to something I saw on Facebook, which you know how I love lists. I know you love lists,
So we were going to get a sports report.
which we'll do right. I'm just setting
okay.
it up. I'm
Oh,
just
you're
setting it
setting
up.
this up?
I'm setting it up.
Holy schmoly.
How many years are we doing this? I'm trying to educate you.
Unbelievable.
After the sports update, I'm going to go over
And he
the
hasn't given up yet. I'm just amazed.
21 classic restaurants and bars every Las Vegas must try.
Wow.
Coming up right after the sports update from the
Right.
Vegas Unwrapped Sports Desk with Bobcat.
Thank you very much, sir. Good evening, everybody. Bobcat right behind the control board for Vegas Unwrapped. And here's what we got going on. Did you guys hear Tiger Woods is withdrawn from Southern Pines, gentlemen?
No
way.
He is out. He says the back is not in condition. He can't swing the club. What is this, the second tournament of the year? And Tiger's popped out. Tiger, my friend, I think it's about time to hang up the
Stick
club
a
and
fork.
and grab the microphone. Golf Channel's got a big contract waiting for you, man.
No doubt about that.
Okay, hey, what about the Cleveland Cavaliers? You know what? They're back on the winning track tonight, guys. 102-75 over the Clippers right now. And
Clippers?
LeBron, and
That's
LeBron
12 in a
James.
row, isn't it?
Hey, listen, LeBron James says Cleveland better get the act together right now. It's a 2-year deal with a 1-year option. The Bobcat's sick him right now. If Cleveland don't get it, he's on his way to New York next year. You got to hear from the Bobcat, okay? Also, NASCAR news. How about Kurt Busch and that wild Wookiee woman? Well, the final closing statements happen today. We'll get an order come Thursday. But all I can say about this thing, that they've got multiple accounts on this, that Kurt Busch's ex has perjured herself on multiple occasions. Ooh. So we'll see what happens. And if you guys want a quick NBA score, once again, you've got Cleveland on top of the Clippers right there, and also going on right now, Sacramento and Dallas are even at 12-12. That's a look at sports, guys.
All right, good job.
Good, terrific.
All right. Let's go on to the list.
Very good.
Music?
Yeah, find something that's sort of eatery-like.
Okay.
We are going to be talking about food after all.
Maybe I'll find the Burger King commercial.
There you go. Great, more royalties. All right, here you go. Number one. Unfortunately, well, I could go the other way. Let's go to the bottom and work our way up. What do you think? Is that a good thing? You want to do it that way, Mr. Cash?
Yeah, sure. You know I like that.
I know you like the. All right, 21. Here you go. You ready? The 21st restaurant that when you're in Las Vegas, you should make sure you see, or if you're here, Top of Binion Steakhouse.
I've been there.
How is it? I've never been there.
It was like my second year here, and it was wonderful. Absolutely first class. Not that expensive, although, certainly more than Applebee's, but excellent steaks.
It's located on the 24th floor of Binion's, and it was called the Top of the Mint in the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
How about that?
So it was actually in the movies. All right, number 20, the Steakhouse at Circus Circus.
Supposed to be still to this day the number one steakhouse in the city.
That's
Which
right.
I find so hard to believe. I mean, Circus Circus is a dump.
Like, how old is that place, man?
That's what I mean.
Expect an upscale old-school steak joint with top-tier quality service and mesquite charcoal broiled specials, cooking up 21-day aged beef on display in their glass-enclosed aging room.
Nice.
Since 1982, they've been open. All right, number 19.
Tiger Woods is withdrawn from Southern.
Wow.
Look at that.
He's an echo.
Yeah.
You ready for number 19?
Sure.
The Hush Puppy, located on West Charleston.
Is that still open?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's considered one of the top 21.
Yeah, let's read the little story. You might be headed to the Hush Puppy, but it's probably catfish on your mind, as the 7,700 square foot diner-only institution in business since 1975. Despite their limited hours, the Hush Puppy has drawn a busy repeat clientele, whether served inside the rustic western interior or using the handy drive-thru. House specialties include frog's legs, seafood gumbo with turkey sausage, snow crab, charbroiled chicken, and themed all-you-can-eat specials. Alligator po' boys are available for the adventurous, and restaurant warns you could possibly be blessed with a pearl in the fried oysters.
Yeah.
This will bring you good luck, but be careful not to break a tooth.
Ooh. Wow.
Yep. So number 19 is the Hush Puppy. Number 18, Spagos by Wolfgang Puck. That's number 18. You gotta have that.
Yeah.
Number 17, Piero's Italian Cuisine.
Piero's.
That's a good one. Located down on Convention Center Drive near the Las Vegas Convention Center.
Ah, yes, Pierre.
Number 16, a classic on Las Vegas Boulevard, one of the largest triple-decker sandwiches I've ever seen offered.
It's got to be the Peppermill.
The Peppermill Restaurant.
There you go. That is one good place, you know. Excellent.
Since 1972, the Peppermill has been serving coffee shop staples in overly generous portions at hometown prices, and that's a great description.
That is
because
true
they certainly do.
description.
Number 15, if you're into French, Pamplemousse Le Restaurant.
So no.
Yes, down over on
that's in-
East Sahara.
Really? That's not at the Paris Hotel.
No.
Okay.
Las Vegas's oldest French restaurant. The emphasis at Pamplemousse Le Restaurant has been transporting guests to an imaginary French cottage with tuxedo-clad waiters, candlelight, and a subtle soundtrack of French music. So it's been around a while. Number 14.
Bring your wallet to that
Yeah,
one.
you're not kidding.
Credit card.
Yeah, exactly. Number 14, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Where is Michael's these days?
Since 1982, the Michael's name has been synonymous with service and style. After departing the Barbary Coast before it became the Cromwell, Michael's resurrected as an intimate 50-seat room at the South Point
At the
Casino.
South Point, sure.
South Point, yeah.
It's that Michael's.
Yes, that's right. Up on the second floor. That's where we ate when we were down there doing the for Eileen's birthday, when we were down doing the pageant.
That was Michael's or primarily rib room?
No, that was this is the upstairs place. Because look at those big red back chairs. That's where we sat in.
How do you like that?
Yeah, what do you know about that? Number 13. Never heard of this restaurant. Lotus of Siam. It's a Thai restaurant Winner of James Beard Restaurant and Chef Award, Lotus of Siam spent years as an average strip mall restaurant before Chef Sepin Chutima and husband Bill took over in 1999. That's located on East Sahara Avenue. I thought it was the other way around. East Sahara Avenue. That's
What was that name again?
which one? The chef?
Yeah.
Let's see. Chef Sepin Chutima.
Okay.
And husband Bill. Right. Number 12, Lindo, let's see, Michoacan, Michoacan.
How about moccasin?
Michoacan, not moccasin.
Michoacan.
Michoacan, sounds good. It's located down on East Desert Inn Road.
Mm-hmm. Good place.
Yeah, it's a Mexican restaurant, open since 1990.
Muy bueno.
There you go. Number 11, Kung Fu Thai and Chinese restaurant located over on Spring Mountain Road. Come on, I lost the page. There we go. I'm sorry, South Valley View, not Spring Mountain. Kung Fu has been operating in Las Vegas since 1973. First at 3rd and Fremont, and then in 1982 inside the current Plaza Hotel, a pioneering in introducing Thai cuisine to the city. Since 1993, the family-run business has been based in Chinatown, boasting hundreds of dishes on the menu, from familiar Americanized versions of China lunch specials to an extensive Thai roster running to dozens of choices, amplified with authentic flavors and an optional heat to match.
Wow.
You want to blow your mind? 1993 was 22 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. My kids were born in 94.
I came here in 94.
Number 10.
Top 10.
Top 10. Huntridge Soda Fountain. The Huntridge Soda Fountain time machine inside the Huntridge Pharmacy still operates an original freezer from when it debuted in 1962. Despite the Happy Days environment, the Huntridge is unusual for its 100% dairy kosher dedication and mostly vegetarian menu of Rockin' Robin burgers, Suzy Q salads, and Bebopalula wraps. Located here downtown, I guess, 89109 area code, zip code.
Wow, I never heard of it.
Number 9, Hugo's Cellar.
Oh, Hugo's.
Yeah.
That's downtown.
That's downtown for sure. All ladies receive.
Lady Luck?
Let's see. 202 Fremont Street, Hugo's Cellar, Joe Fremont hosts 4 Queens.
4 Queens, that's all right.
In 1976, the Cellar has delivered to downtown a strip-style gourmet room. Hugo's tableside salad accompanies each entree, and hands-on touch is pepper, the food preparation, including the visuals of a duckling anise flambe.
Whoa.
28-day aged black Angus beef competes on the menu with popular seafood dishes like the go-to lobster, and can be paired with a robust wine list. For dessert, revive some old school glamour with a fiery presentation of Bananas Foster or Cherry's Jubilee for 2.
Bananas Foster.
Number 8, I thought this would be higher, the Golden Steer.
Wow, that's also that's considered right.
I would have
with
said top 5 easy.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought too.
No, number 8, the oldest steakhouse in the city, has been expanding since 1958.
Wow.
The Golden Steer has hosted the famous and infamous, from Elvis Presley to mobsters like Tony the Ant Spilotro, and created a favorite carnivore home for the Rat Pack. Inside the red leather mahogany dining cocoon, you can find brass plaques celebrating their famed customers' preferred booths. Prime age beef is the draw, the tableside Caesar salad a tradition, and they're not for the faint of heart martinis a must.
I also must say that you better have American Express Platinum
yeah.
to eat there.
Black card, buddy.
Every woman I've ever taken there for dinner has put out afterwards.
They better.
Number 7, Ferraro's Italian Restaurant and Wine Bar. Family owned since 1985, located opposite the Hard Rock Hotel. Ferraro's takes the tradition and adds a conscientious mandate, serving safe harbor, certified seafood, and beef devoid of antibiotics, added hormones, or steroids.
Chicken parm isn't bad either.
Number 6, the Farm Basket.
You've got to be kidding me.
No. 6148 West Charleston. It's actually not too far from the Hush Puppy, I believe.
It's not far at all. Holy mackerel.
Once a Las Vegas mainstay with 7 locations and a rival to the Colonel's original recipe, the Farm Basket fried chicken chain has now been reduced to one single barn-like structure. Arriving in 1977, Farm Basket is best known for its great gobbler sandwich made with breaded turkey breast, Miracle Whip, and cranberry sauce.
I like the cranberry sauce.
Tacos are dubbed Clucky Toes, and farm fries come smothered in homemade gravy and topped with cheese.
Clucky Toes. I wonder what they are.
Plaquitos.
Emerald's New Orleans Fish House. Hard to imagine, but Emerald's New Orleans Fish House is already 20 years old.
Wow.
Can you believe it? It's down at the MGM Grand.
Yes, it is.
Numero 4, Dino's Lounge. When Ronaldo Dean Bartolomucci opened his Dino's in 1962, the appeal was cold beer, pinball, pool, souvenirs, and the welcome promise of air conditioning. More than half a century later, the still family-run business has kept its humble roots, but gained a reputation as the best dive bar and karaoke showcase in town. Getting Las Vegas drunk since 1962 is their motto, and bartenders run a monthly contest for the Drunk of the Month. An unpretentious and welcome atmosphere is matched by the interior decor. Number 3, Chicago Joe's. A home-cooked Italian meal has been on the offer inside Chicago Joe's since 1975, when an actual 1933 Las Vegas residence was converted into a restaurant. This is located down at 820 South 4th Street. Number 2, Bob Taylor's Ranch House.
We've eaten there.
Yes,
Well,
that's
I've
up in
eaten
North
there.
Las Vegas.
Yep. Off
95.
In Rainbow. It's all the way up Rainbow.
Right.
Yep.
The city's oldest restaurant, Bob Taylor's original ranch house, literally saw the growth of Las Vegas creep up to its once underdeveloped location. Since 1955, the cowboy-themed former home has welcomed guests with Western decor, including a collection of spurs owned by Hollywood cowboys, mountain views, and the sight, smell, and char of an open mesquite grill.
Those steaks are terrific there, and their ribs are to die for.
And the number 1 restaurant. Can you bring up a little drum roll, a little timpani?
Hold on, let me see if they
I got a better idea.
Wait.
Let's go to break.
Oscars wasn't on the list?
I haven't gotten to number 1 yet.
No.
Okay.
Let's go to break, and I'll reveal number 1 on the other side of the break. Call that a tease, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Vegas Unwrapped. We'll be back with the number 1 restaurant you must see if you're in Vegas right after this.
It was all Ehrlichman, Holloman, Baingram. God bless America.
That is actually pretty good.
Not to mention Dean.
All right. You ready for the number 1? You want to take a guess? You want to take a guess of what the number 1 is?
Oscars.
What is it? No, it can't be Oscars. It had been open that long.
Politically, it has to be Oscars.
The Cafe House with dim sum.
Which is closed.
Les Artistes at the Paris.
Okay.
The steaks at the Crazy Horse.
Ooh, yeah. The stakes are high at the Crazy Horse.
The number 1.
Treasures.
Oh, yeah.
They serve camel there.
And with or without the toes.
Okay, the number 1 restaurant that is highly recommended is...
Top of the world?
Wait, it's an Oriental or Asian.
Batista's Hole in the Wall for fine Italian dining located on Flamingo.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Only a block from the Strip, but a cultural world away. Batista's Hole in the Wall Italian restaurant is crammed with eccentric decor from Vegas memorabilia to an Alaskan moose head named Mussolini and the all-important well-mounted menu. Gordy, the 80-something wandering accordion player, who's got to be over 90 by now,
Oh, he's well out there.
if he's still playing, may serenade you as you choose your dinner special, which always comes equipped with house wine, minestrone soup, or Italian salad, garlic bread, and a pasta side and homemade cappuccino. Been around, created the concept since 1970, luring a celebrity clientele before the casual, friendly service. Generous serving of Italian staples and a value menu became a fixture for drawing untold tourists that one block east. So Batista's Hole in the Wall is
I've been there twice.
it's considered the number 1 restaurant.
And their garlic bread is the number 1 I've ever
Really?
had.
Is that
The-
good?
The garlic bread makes the whole show.
Wow. Where's this place at again?
It's
Block-
Batista's Hole in the Wall?
Yeah, the block
Yeah,
east of
Flamingo and the Strip.
Okay.
Used to be Barbary Coast was right there on the corner.
Oh,
What
And then
what
it
is
was right
now?
around the corner.
Yeah.
The Cromwell.
Oh, okay. I know it. Okay.
What is that, Audrey? Is that the little strip?
Yeah, the little side
yeah,
street is Audrey.
Yeah.
That's it. Very nice. Good
So,
job.
are there any restaurants on that list that you think should be on the list, or should have been included on that list?
Well, I think the top of the world at the Stratosphere is excellent.
Okay.
I've been there a couple of times. It's expensive, but worthwhile.
Well, it costs
Especially
you
with the the
60-minute ride around.
60-minute ride around the city. You can only stay there 2 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Two rotations, and that's it.
Yep.
Okay.
Les Artistes at the Paris.
Okay.
It really is. The food's great. Atmosphere is really nice. Very romantic setting. They've got the balconies up there with the booths. Really nice. Yeah, they'll put out if you take them there too.
Jiminy Christmas, man. That's
Go to
awesome.
Blondie's Sports Bar and Grill.
Their garlic mashed potatoes are just awesome.
At Blondie's Sports Bar and Grill, they have the best chicken parm pizza
Ooh.
I have ever had. And that will get a absolute yes, sir, from the partner over here.
That's right. We did that one night.
I just something about when you start monkeying with pizza, man. I'm not for that.
I'll tell you why.
Oh, it is. It's just grilled. It's just
grilled chicken,
not grilled chicken.
fried chicken.
Fried chicken, like a chicken, just put on top of the same thing.
With more cheese on top of
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it's no different than like a chicken
anybody
parm
remember
sandwich.
Godfather's Pizza?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Where all the stuff was on, and then you put the cheese over the top
Sure.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything was under the
Yeah.
cheese.
And you brought them out. They had the duster because they
How'd
used
that work out for
they
them?
used the cornmeal. They used the cornmeal base to put them
Right.
in there, and they dust it off.
That's
at the
right.
end. Remember, no flour. They
Yeah.
were not allowed
That's right.
flour there.
That's right.
One that you mentioned that I've really fell in love with in this town, it's right down the street from here, is Capo's. I really like Capo's Italian food. They're real great. If you want the experience of the old school Vegas mob or that thing, not to tell you what to do, just go there. Tuesdays, it's 2 for Tuesdays there. They've got an Italian porterhouse steak dinner, $35, but if you go on Tuesdays, it's 2 for 2, man.
Wow.
That's
There's
amazing.
another place like that that's closed down now, but it
That's going to help us.
it was either out on East Trop or Flamingo. I don't remember which, called the Manhattan.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing. It was old school Vegas. You went in there and you just felt like you had stepped 30 years back in time.
We all ought to get together and take the wives, and we'll all go to
Let's do
Capo's
that.
on a Tuesday
I'd love
night,
to
man.
do that. That would be tremendous.
Their grated cheese, Mr. Cash, that they put down. They give you the warm Italian bread with the warm olive oil, right, and then the grated cheese. $800 a wheel for this cheese. Okay?
Whoa.
They give you one bowl on the house. After that, $30 a bowl for the cheese, but it is unbelievable.
Wow.
Great place.
Don't need stinking cheese that bad.
Yeah, there's another good old-time Italian restaurant. It's been around a long time on East Tropicana, right off Eastern. It's called Strings, and it's really
good?
authentic. You know, where if you ask for veal parm, you'll get a piece of veal. Rather than, a patty.
Cutlet or whatever.
Yeah, really. Very nice.
What I do like.
Is it attached to anything?
No, it sits right on. It sits by itself.
So there's no strings attached?
Not even siren strings either.
Oh, that's right, yeah. And the second hour hasn't started yet.
Not even close.
You know what you'd like about Capo's, Mr. Cash?
What's that?
All the sauces are done fresh, handmade. There ain't no packaged.
See, I like handmade stuff.
Yeah, me too. 5 lines for you guys.
I'll tell you what. You were still talking about restaurants. Tuscany Grill, man, out in
Yeah,
out in
that's
Henderson.
true.
That food is the best Italian.
And you want to talk about bread, fresh bread, the Italian bread there?
Tremendous.
Oh, man. $22 a loaf for that bread.
Also try Mastriani's over on. It's now at Wallapai and Desert Inn.
Okay.
Really, really good. Excellent Italian food.
How about you, sir?
I got a bill for $75 for a pork chop, a veal chop there. I almost dropped my pants.
How about you, sir?
They would have doubled the price if that was the case.
How about you, sir?
I like Sabatino's up by us on West Cheyenne.
Okay.
Yeah,
West Cheyenne and Buffalo. It's your typical mom and pop style place.
Neighborhood place.
Good stuff there. So
Got a good little sports bar for you. If you like a good old style Chicago square pizza and a just good cold draft beer, 4 kegs right off of Jones by the 95 right there.
Okay.
Really good place, good food, very family oriented, not expensive at all. Miss Bobcat and I, we do date night there every Friday night. We go there, we
Right.
get the big large pizza and a couple of cold beers a piece. We walk out under $20.
There
man.
you go.
Yeah, it's a great deal. Real
can't
good.
beat that.
Yeah, edge of town, right over on
Cheyenne and the 215.
That's a nice little place. We've eaten there a few times.
Absolutely. All right, let's step aside for a break. When we come back on the other side, maybe we'll do some Doing It with Styles instead of waiting for the second hour.
I should have prepared something.
You should have prepared something.
You got about 2 minutes, sir.
You're listening to Vegas
I'll find
Unwrapped.
something.
We'll be back right after this.
Construction.
Hello there. I didn't have anything prepared, so I had to make something up here. Yeah.
So what we got going on this week?
Okay, so here's the deal. I try really, really hard not to do anything political. So,
We know that.
okay, so this
Although you have given one to Obama.
yes, but that had nothing to do with politics.
I know. It was just his
Yeah.
wise ass remarks.
Right. Okay. Well, I got another one just like that. Okay.
All right.
So, and I'm trying to if I should back into it or just jump right into it.
Jump right into
We
it.
all know the backstory on this. So I'm just gonna get right into it. Tonight, my Doing It with Styles award is going to the King of Jordan. Now, I don't know if you know what's going on there.
I sure do.
Okay, so here is Jordan's King Abdullah is reportedly personally involved in executing airstrikes against Islamic State positions in the aftermath of the terrorist group's brutal execution of Jordanian pilot First Lieutenant Moaz Kassabeh.
Yep.
So the reason that I'm giving this guy the Doing It With Styles award, he is the leader of his country, and he's basically saying, you fuck with my people, you're dead meat, I'm coming after you. I'm not sending somebody else. I'm going to lead the fight to kick your ass.
Unbelievable. Now, I also heard it that he said, and again, this is out of context, you hit one of mine, I'm going to take out two of yours.
Yep.
So an eye for an eye, no better place than in the Middle East, where that philosophy goes back 5,000 years.
This guy's he's risking his own life.
Wow.
You know, depending on how you look at it. But
It's his country.
That's right. And we need more. I don't know what this guy's politics is. And I really don't care at this point. But we need more leaders like him who are willing to, if they're going to send somebody down to go get their ass kicked, they ought to be in the fray too.
Well, you know, Jordan has been neighboring Israel since the creation of the Israeli state.
Yes.
In 1967, I'm sorry, 1948. And I can tell you that all the skirmishes that Israel had over the years, Jordan has always remained outside the skirmish.
Right.
And you know, they literally share Jerusalem.
Right.
And there are so many Israeli and Arab villages that literally border on each other where there has been peace for 70 years.
Yeah.
And yet the area itself is a powder keg going all the time.
Well, I still give the guy a lot of credit.
Oh, good.
So
I do too.
Good job, King.
Good job. So that's John Styles, ladies and gentlemen, and he's doing it with Styles. Let's hear it for the King once again.
Thank you for listening to Doing It with Style. Sponsored in part by A.A. Casaro Plumbing and Construction and heard exclusively on Vegas Unwrapped.
It's a good point, John, that we don't get involved in politics too much, and it's basically because we don't want to brand ourselves, you know, liberal,
Right.
conservative,
Yeah.
Republican, Democrat. We will speak out, though, on things that are near and dear to us.
And this was not political.
No,
this had
no.
nothing to do with politics.
Well, you know, but it does send a message to other countries, you know, that you're out there and you're, I mean, what do you think the Japanese response should be to these guys? The Japanese, they're cutting off their heads like crazy.
Yeah.
And yet I haven't heard anything from the Japanese government as strong as the King of Jordan saying, I'm going to really come kick your ass, which I think was tremendous.
Yeah.
So back in the studio,
Yes, he has returned.
he is relieved. All right.
I thought he was out there looking to pull guests off the
I was
street for
gonna
the
say-
next
I was gonna-
segment. Yeah.
I was going to say he was relieved of duty. But now he's back.
Well, that is partial truth. But I was also communicating with our friend Bart Zeller.
How is old Bart?
Bart is doing great. He's listening to us right now and
Bart, I wasn't kidding before. No.
sends his regards. And, you know, Bart, I mean, you're always welcome to call us at 702-483-4444. He's down in Arizona right now. So
Getting ready for spring training?
I don't know if, you know what, that's a good question. 'Cause I think the last time we spoke to him,
He had something going on
he had
down
something
there.
in the works, but he wasn't, but yeah. there was something going on, and maybe if he calls in, which he's welcome to do, we'll get the scoop.
Well,
What's that number again?
702-483.
4444. Yeah, if he calls it, but he's a good guy. We've spoken to him before, had him on the show
Twice.
and yeah. So I was chatting with him, with the lack of guests that were supposed to be calling in. But anyway, be that as it may, it is what it is. So off we go on to the next topic. So you guys had a good discussion going on. Don't let me interrupt.
No, we,
Did you hear?
I just saw
the king of
Yeah.
Jordan who
Yeah.
said he's going after ISIS by himself.
right.
We like that.
Leading the airstrikes against the terrorists, and
We thought that was pretty cool.
that's the way to do
Absolutely.
it with Styles.
Absolutely. Somebody else has to lead the fight sometimes. It
Yep.
can't just be the United States all the time.
Well, it just, to me, it just shows that the guy's not just talk, and that he's willing to put his own life on the line for his people, and he's not going to be the only one flying, but he is, going to be out there as part of the group instead of sitting back in his office.
No, absolutely.
So,
Taking positive action towards
Yep.
it, and that's good.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
a good thing. That's a good thing. Hey, not to digress and
No,
to
no,
change
we're-
gear,
we're-
did
we're
you
good.
play all the intros and outros?
Yeah,
that
sure.
we
Right,
took care of?
I'm right on.
Hey.
I know. I just am asking because I ask.
he wants to make sure we're prepared when he's not here.
Real quickly, how about Warren Sapp? Did you hear what happened to Warren Sapp
No,
last week?
tell us.
At
What
the
happened
Super
to
Bowl?
Warren Sapp this week?
We'll talk about the Super Bowl on the other side and get everybody's take on it. But Warren Sapp, Hall of Fame football player for the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Raiders, was arrested on solicitation charges as well as assault charges on the young lady that he escorted to the room. So followed by, or preceded by, and I didn't know this for sure. I heard his name in the news, but I didn't tie it together. Former UNLV basketball player Greg Anthony was also charged with solicitation a few weeks back, apparently, and has been suspended by CBS and I guess TNT or TBS, one of those others.
All of them.
All of them. I don't get it. I don't get what these guys are doing.
They've reached a point where they honestly believe that they're above the law or above any kind of ethics.
Yeah, they feel that their celebrity status
Yep.
can get them out of just about anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And yet, all they have to do is, watch the news wires every day, and there's always some other sports person that's getting arrested.
And the one with Greg Anthony was a sting operation. He found a listing on Craigslist, at least according to the story, the way I read it, and it ended up being a sting operation. So it was a false ad, and he walked right into it.
I am. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't
You
mean
want
to.
to take it a step further?
I was just going to say this, and I am not in the thing to pushing this show or any of our listeners and our Vegas listeners here to take the 45-minute ride up to Pahrump, which we all know is there, not including the good chicken club sandwich. But you can go up there and have all the adult fun that you want to have legally, and maintain and do whatever your heart desires, and don't have to worry about things like this.
At a price you cannot afford.
Well,
Every woman that I've taken up there for dinner has put out.
Oh, here we go again. He's taking them to the chicken ranch.
well, you said that, Mr. Cash. That
No,
it could
I
be an
picked them up at the chicken
That's
ranch.
right.
It could be an expensive. That could be an expensive evening or an expensive date up there, right? But I'm sure, in the gentleman's name from UNLV,
Greg Anthony.
Mr. Anthony now is going to have a little bit more financial responsibilities, unless he would have taken the ride up to the hump over Pahrump there.
Okay, now let me put the caveat on the Greg Anthony story, and all you guys are going to go, "Ooh." He was soliciting for a transvestite.
He was?
Really?
No,
John, what were you doing that night?
we took those back.
Going back to the Sandy Castell show.
I told
I
you you would say ooh.
I was meeting Michael.
Oh, my God.
Wow, he was soliciting a transsexual?
Transvestite.
Transvestite?
Yeah.
That's basically the same thing.
Now, what happens?
Maybe we should get one on the show for After Dark.
I've got a quiz for you.
Uh-huh.
What happens to everybody who hangs around Bobby Brown?
They drowned. I know Christina Brown is not in good shape.
Oh, man.
The
6
daughter.
waves.
She was found face down in a bathtub over the weekend, I believe, if memory serves.
Almost the 3rd year anniversary of her mother being found the same way.
That's right. 39 minutes ago was updated that she's going to be taken off life support soon. Doctors, so was she 21 or something?
Yeah,
Just about.
She'll be turning 25 on the 4th.
Well, Miss Bobcat had a lot of medical experience, and your brain waves. There's a bunch of hundreds of lines and signals of that. And I was reading this morning that they said that she only had 6 lines going across to the brain wave. So that's sad, very sad.
It's real sad, and it's and there's so many ramifications. Whitney Houston's estate is valued somewhere in the neighborhood of $80 million, and she was getting an allowance up until she would have been 25, and then she would have been able to get a whole lot more. In the meantime, if she were to pass now, no, it doesn't. It goes back to Whitney's family, her brother, and I believe her mother. So,
and you could bet Bobby's going to throw a stink into that.
I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy.
I don't like Bobby Brown anyway.
I'm not crazy about him either.
I hope he gets the shaft.
I just hope that when the toxicology reports come back, that it's not the same situation that her mother went through.
Well, why else would you be found face down in a bathtub?
That's just.
I hate to say it that way, but
combination of Xanax, liquor, and Valium, and
cocaine, and whatever else.
And there you are.
Lions and tigers and bears, oh my.
There you go.
All right. Well, we're at the top of the hour, fellas.
Already?
You know what that means?
We made it. What a great group of guests.
It's downhill from here. That's
we
what
had
that
lined
means.
up. Actually, to make a perfect point here, we did not have them lined up, because if we had them lined up, they would have been on the air. How's that?
First of all, let me say this about that. I will find that person. They'll go down. They'll go down all the way. You've been listening to Vegas Unwrapped with Phillips and Cash, Bobcat on the board, and JPeg on the video. Hour number 2 is going down. You can hear from your president. My fellow Americans.
All right, welcome back to Vegas Unwrapped. Hour number 2, getting ready to come at you here. God knows what's going to happen in hour number 2 with the way hour number 1 has been trending.
Hour number 1 was cool.
Yeah, hour number 1, we got through it. Where is my YouTube link? I want to find something here. Of course, this past weekend was the Super Bowl. Yeah, there was some big football game or something on, wasn't there, right?
Largest television audience in the history of television.
Absolutely.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Katy Perry blew the halftime as far as viewers on the halftime show. Smacked Bruno Mars's record down from last year.
No question about it. And I you could say a lot about the different halftime shows, but this was one of the better ones over the past, let's say, decade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not stupendous. I still would have liked to have seen somebody like Aerosmith or somebody like that, or McCartney again. But that's just the way it is. I mean, Katy Perry is middle of the road, hot pop.
Yeah, there
She's hot.
Yeah, she is. She's a great looking girl, and her music isn't terrible.
Well, you can understand her.
You can understand her, which I think is a big factor. Yeah. I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was. I saw the video. Miss Bobcat recorded, and I saw the video piece of it.
Yeah.
When you've got Paul McCartney sitting in the stadium, you've got Steven Tyler sitting in the stadium, and you got Katy Perry performing. These people need to realize that the majority of the people at the Super Bowl game itself are corporations.
Sure.
It's not mom and dad and Jimmy and John. It's corporations. And corporations are not owned by the 25 or 30-year-old people that follow Katy Perry and Bruno Mars and Missy Elliott. Okay? They're owned by what are they, baby boomers, I guess, right? 50s, 45, 50, 55, that I think would have played a better audience to having that contemporary music than what I thought the best part of the Super Bowl halftime show was the stage.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
The way they changed it, and
that was
I thought
cool.
that was up there.
The mechanical lion thing was pretty cool too.
It wasn't mechanical.
Oh,
there were guys dressed in black moving the legs.
Yeah, they were moving the legs.
Yeah, they were moving everything. But I mean, it was cool. And the songs that she sang, 2 of them were ones that are familiar.
She sang.
well, whatever she did, lip sync.
No,
I don't know. It was hard to tell if she actually said. I think she did lip sync. Most of them do. Well, some of them do. I shouldn't say most. Some of them do.
Definitely once she did the aerial thing, that was a lip sync.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I would have rather seen more of the music, and it's a selfish, personal position. I'd much rather would have seen the music of that I would like to enjoy.
Right.
You know, but give her, and I'm not alone. I put a post out there over the weekend about it, and many people commented on my post about having McCartney and Steven Tyler in the house, and you got Katy
Most of
Perry
your
over
friends are
on.
your age and more.
Probably,
Yeah, of course they are.
Absolutely.
I think you wanted to talk about the music. One of the best ones that I saw so far over the years, too, actually, The Who. There really wasn't a big production value. It was just The Who on the stage
Right, music.
jamming.
Right.
And the second one, he committed, did the show during a pouring rainstorm, and one hell of a show was the Prince halftime show.
Yeah.
Remember that? It was pouring down
yeah.
rain, and he came out
He
and still did the show,
right.
So those were the two
That
favorites.
was pretty cool.
But the Who's.
Not a big Prince fan, although I like some of his music.
Yeah.
I was just impressed that
Yeah.
he didn't cop the big superstar attitude and came out and still did the show,
Yeah.
in a pouring rainstorm. So
I would have too if I got paid as much as they do. I'll stand out in the rain for 20 minutes.
So everybody was happy with the game, Mr. Kelly?
Well, I picked the winner, but with the last 5 minutes of that game, it was really anybody's game. And the biggest thing that comes out of it, of course, is the call that Pete Carroll made to throw with 2nd and goal, and he threw the interception, threw it in the middle of the field, and a rookie came up and stole it, and that was the end of the game. They were 2 running plays away from winning their 2nd straight Super Bowl.
Did you see the interview that he did?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
said,
Yeah,
if that had worked, I'd have been a hero.
It would have been the greatest call of all time
Right.
instead of now considered the worst call of all time.
When we were watching it at the Cash compound, and they first of all they had 8 men already in the box to stop the run, and Marshawn Lynch during the season was at least this was a stat they gave during the game, was 1 out of 5 from the 1 yard line in rushing during the regular season. 1 out of 5. So the odds were against him getting in. Do you still give your horse the ball? Absolutely.
At least
Okay?
on 2nd down.
Maybe
Maybe even on 3rd
well,
down.
you still had 1 timeout. Okay. So as soon as the ball was snapped, and I think I said to sitting there, they're using him as a decoy. He's going to try to pass because I saw Lynch go out to the left side. That was a call. If you're going to pass it, you got to pass the fade. You got to throw the fade where only your guy can catch it.
Or you could throw the screen to the corner because they're 8 and a
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the fade into the corners so that this way, if your guy doesn't catch it, it goes out of bounds or whatever, and you don't throw an interception in the middle of the field. All right. But the key is, if he made the catch, we wouldn't even be talking about it.
No, it would be the greatest call.
Greatest call of all time. You had Marshawn Lynch in the back. You use him as a decoy, blah, 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 blah. All right. If you go back to the tape from last week's radio show, only one of us in this room nailed the score perfectly right on the button.
Who might that have been?
Yours truly called the Patriots 28-24. You could check it out. So yours truly got it right. But, of course, did he bet on it? No.
Well, if you had bet on it, it wouldn't have turned out that way.
No, of course not.
Yeah, you would have made the difference, right?
I mean, even I went. As soon as I saw him let loose with that ball, I was like, what?
Yeah.
It was one of the few Super Bowls that I wrote it on Sunday night that actually lived up to its billing of being a great game.
It was a
because
great
it was
game.
a great game. The 4th quarter was tremendous. Brady was outstanding. I mean, it was everything you wanted in the game. I mean, it was absolutely terrific. And Russell Wilson certainly equated himself beautifully.
Yes.
He played tremendous game. Only made one interception, which of course he'll be remembered for his lifetime.
But he's still, going to the Super Bowl 2 out of your first 3 seasons as a starter is still it's still something to behold because that's tough to do.
Yep.
A guy like Dan Marino got there one time in his first year and thought he'd be back for every year since. Never made it back to a Super Bowl, as great a quarterback as he was. Then you have Jim Kelly, who went 4 times and unfortunately didn't win any of them. So getting there is great. Now, the defensive cornerbacks, their backfield, really banged up. Earl Thomas is having surgery on his shoulder. You've got Richard Sherman possibly having Tommy John.
No, just regular elbow.
Now it's regular elbow surgery. They got rid of Tommy John surgery.
Pete Carroll overstated
that. Okay, so you've got that going on. So there's it'll be interesting to see if they're able to repeat for a third time and see what happens. I mean, but for what it was a great Super Bowl from the standpoint of it being a good game. Certainly after last year's debacle with the Broncos 48-7, I think the game needed. The Super Bowl needed a good game.
Yeah, you got it.
And you got it. You got the two number one seeds going at it. So
early pick from Westgate and MGM coming out of the whole Monday to repeat, and the next year's champ, Seattle, is up on the line.
Yeah,
Westgate and MGM
6-1, I think,
yes,
and Patriots right behind them at 7-1.
Yep.
But it's interesting. I mean, you got teams like the Eagles who didn't make the playoffs but still won 10 games that are 40-1 right now. You may want to think about that, folks.
Can we parlay a couple of those up in there somewhere?
Yeah. Anyway, personally, I am totally footballed out. This season between the pros, which was a good pro season, although all of the distractions were just really a pain in the ass. But with the college, with the playoffs, and I don't think I've ever watched as much football as I did this year, and I am totally footballed out. If I don't see another game till Labor Day, I'll be very happy.
And I can't say as I disagree with you, because with all the hype this year with the college and the pro and the four teams and all that talk every week, and now to accentuate that, yesterday the National Signing Day, has turned into a major event where all these high school recruits now all have press conferences to announce what college they're going to. I mean, you got to be kidding me. And that kind of takes me to UNLV, and we were listening to it on the car coming in. Tony Sanchez, the former Bishop Gorman High School coach, now is the coach of UNLV. And one of the things people were saying about him taking over as coach, he'll get the local guys. He'll do a lot more local recruiting and be able to keep a lot of the kids local. My next comment's going to sort of be tongue-in-cheek, but Snoop Dogg's son was a big recruit.
Yep.
Went to Bishop Gorman, played under Tony Sanchez.
Practically lived in his house.
The kid committed to UCLA.
I saw that.
The reason is very simple.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's big time football. It's Pac-10.
Right.
Yeah. Pac-10 is big time football.
Which goes to show that the recruiting power that people thought Tony Sanchez, even though he's kind of working behind the eight ball, because he got into it late, but here he did a show with him, and he's done all of this stuff.
But he wasn't expected to recruit any 5-star players. He got 2 3-star players. He got 2 local recruits plus 1 local transfer to come back to UNLV. By and large, he did as well as could be expected, given the status of the Mountain West. They don't get 5-star recruits.
Well,
they just don't.
And he's also going to be picking up, if I'm not right or wrong here, that he's been dealt a hand, so he's got to play the hand. He's only got to maybe take 3 cards in and take 3 cards back. So he's got a hand that he's got to play.
Give him 5 years. Give him 5 years, and I think he's dynamic. What he has done is he's brought on his staff very, very, very strong Division I coaches, to assist him in game planning and all that kind of stuff. So I think he's going to do pretty well.
Good news is my Nittany Lions had the number 14th ranked signing day, given all that they've gone through the last couple of years and getting back to a bowl this year, which they won against Boston College. So I'm very pleased and happy with the results they have. So hopefully, we'll see what happens next year. But you're right. I'm ready for baseball. 30 days or so, less than 30 days for spring training, 50 days, whatever it is, till opening day. And hope spring is eternal.
Your Nittany Lions, I don't know if we mentioned this, but one good thing, they restored Joe Paterno's all-time college win record. And that was a very good thing that they did for Coach Joe. Sure. And I mean, that whole scandal, when you look at it, I think that whole scandal took his life. And I mean, he was, and it was good to see Coach Joe back in the winning column.
You bet. It was ridiculous to begin with. And kudos to my radio partner, who, despite having the vast majority of people on the other side of that argument, he stood strong and stood tall and backed Penn State and backed Joe Paterno from the beginning. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you. Well, it's my alma mater. I mean, I felt strongly about it. Listen, what happened, what Sandusky did, is a crime.
Yep.
No question. Never a question there. But when you look at feasibility, when you look at chain of command, when you look at civil versus criminal cases, when you look at the NCAA crossing that line,
They had no business even involved in it at all.
absolutely not in a criminal situation.
Because it wasn't a football issue.
Right. So there were a lot of holes in the bag.
Right.
And the fact that Joe got 409 back to 409, got his wins restored, is tremendous. I had no problem with the university being fined. $60 million. You want to fine him? That's fine. And take away scholarships. I was questionable, but to take Paterno's legacy away from him, and I agree with you 1,000%. It killed Paterno because within 2 months he was dead.
Yeah.
Once they fired him. I'm just hoping, and it looks like it's happening, that the Penn State program has turned it around. I mean, last year was a big year for them when they had the sanctions lifted. They were now bowl eligible. Going into this upcoming season, all of their scholarships are back in play now, which is why they had a great recruiting class in comparison to previous last couple of years. So I'm really looking forward to Penn State getting back to prominence within the Big Ten. Will they be prominent in the national picture anytime soon? Maybe 5 years from now, 4 years, as these kids are developed. But I love what James Franklin's doing down there in coaching them. It's my alma mater. I'll support them. But Sandusky is a dirtbag. Period.
Yeah.
Let him face his issue, and let the now the big debate is about Joe's statue that they had taken down, which was outside Beaver Stadium. What they're going to do with it, if they're going to put it back up or not. That's the latest.
Should put it on the 50-yard line and let the players play around it.
Yeah, there you go. Coach Joe, man. You know, Coach Joe, you put him in the greats of Woody Hayes, Bo Schembechler. I mean, old school football coaches right there.
Tremendous man.
Bobby
too.
Bowden, absolutely.
Tremendous man. He was a mentor and a father figure to so many of these players. It's just unbelievable.
And never sold out. I mean, he could have opt out for the big money, the big house on the very modest means in Pennsylvania. Not
In
a
the
big
70s,
home,
he was gone after by the Jets. The Jets wanted him to coach them in the 70s.
So,
But he actually agreed to the contract to coach the Jets in the 70s, and then like overnight or talked with his wife, whatever, is when he decided and changed his mind to stay at Penn State. Longest running coach, 50 plus years at the university, maybe closer to 60 plus years at the university as a coach,
right.
and 45 or 50 years as a head coach. No one's going to top that today.
No, you're kidding.
No, not with big money and moving
Never
on.
happened.
Not a chance. And what people seem to forget is that the national champion, Ohio State, had to go to overtime to beat Penn State.
they sure did.
They had to go to overtime, and they had them 17-0 at the half, and Penn State came back to tie that game.
That's right.
That was some game. That
I've been over there. That's a
night.
tough stadium to play in too. It is. It's a great town to go to watch college football, but that's a tough stadium to play
What's
in at Beaver Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Beaver Stadium.
They want to make it. They want to rename the field Beaver Stadium, Joe Paterno Field at Beaver Stadium. There's a huge petition out there, which of course I signed to rename the field after Paterno. So
Good job.
now they have over 100,000 seats in there. They've really done a nice job in picking it up. All right, wow, sports, hockey coming to Vegas. Maybe there's stuff going on about hockey. We'll talk about on the other side. Bobcat, take us to break.
Okay, well, I can certainly do that. We are in the second hour of Vegas Unwrapped right here. What do you mean?
Get the book out.
He's coming back, everybody. I am not a crook, but Phillips and Cash, they'll be back next.
I can't wait till we get to weird news.
To talk about Brian.
Yes,
It's pretty wild.
In case you missed the story, NBC's news anchor Brian Williams apparently admitted yesterday that he fibbed about being on the U.S. military helicopter.
Maybe he was on a military
with the Ed Sullivan show. He was being on a U.S. military helicopter that took enemy fire during the Iraq War. Prompted not one but two trending hashtags, hashtag Brian Williams Memories and hashtag Brian Williams Misremembers. In case you missed it, Williams, the anchor of the NBC Nightly News, apologized on Wednesday for multiple claims over the years that he'd been aboard a helicopter that was forced down after being hit by an RPG. The incident happened on March 24th, 2003.
Bye, Brian.
Yeah. The helicopter was forced down by enemy fire, but Williams was not on it. His chopper arrived about an hour later and landed next to the damaged one. Williams blamed his version of the incident on a foggy memory, he said, and felt terrible.
Oh, for crying out loud. If I'm in a helicopter and get shot down, I think I just might remember that forever.
Yes, you would.
Oh, Christmas Eve.
Now there's meme pictures.
Oh yeah,
all over. There's pictures of Brian Williams sitting at the Last Supper now.
Yeah.
What else is here with Martin Luther King? He was sitting in the white Bronco. I mean, he's reporting live from the moon.
That one I liked. I liked the one from the moon.
He's done.
He's, but now there's talk that NBC, in order to save their face,
Right.
should get rid of Williams.
Either or a big suspension, like a 30-day.
You wouldn't.
I guess.
You wouldn't find Walter Cronkite in a situation like that.
Not the Kronk.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
Not
One
at
of the
all.
most trusted men in this
Well,
country.
you know why Johnson resigned. Well, not resigned. Johnson said he wasn't going to run again. He said he's quoted as, "Now Walter Cronkite's against me. I might as well quit."
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
that's a true story, and because I saw it on a movie.
He was voted on more occasions as the most trusted man in America.
Right. No question about it.
Absolutely. Hey, going to digress away from Williams, we're going to go back into sports for a few seconds. It was officially announced last week that the Las Vegas Wranglers are
Right.
done.
Yeah.
They're done.
ECH.
ECHL was done in
sucks
Vegas,
big time.
and it was 12 years. I would love to know what the thinking from the Orleans Arena was behind not renewing their contract, because it was, they didn't fill the house all the time, but they had a very, very solid following. Well, now, of course, there's been talk for a number of months now about the NHL, National Hockey League, possibly coming to Las Vegas. There's a website to gauge interest called lasvegas-hockey.com to gauge interest as to whether the city will support hockey. And if they do support it, I believe they're talking about putting the games at the new MGM arena that's being built.
Of course.
Really?
So if you're interested and want to show
do
your
it.
support
I'll
for
sign
Las
up.
Vegas hockey, lasvegas-hockey.com. What's interesting is there's another story on.
Is that a high dash or a low dash?
It's a middle dash.
Okay.
It's a middle dash.
All right. Not the one on the bottom.
Not the one on the bottom.
Okay.
That would be an underscore.
Underscore.
For
That's what
those-
I thought. But there's nothing. It's not under anything except a blank space.
That's correct.
Is that
is
still
correct.
Okay.
That is correct. This is a dash.
Gotcha.
What's interesting, though, they talked today about
He's as dumb as I am.
I'm telling you that. I've
Listen to
been
this.
spending too
I'm
much time sitting next to you, man. It's rubbing
see?
off.
There you go.
they're talking about, instead of the team name being Las Vegas whatever, they're talking about naming it Nevada whatever. Instead of it being, because even though the team is based in Las Vegas, they're not like the Las Vegas 51s.
Right.
They're not the Nevada 51s. They're Las Vegas 51s. They want to use the Nevada, the state name, in the team name because they feel it would be more inclusive in terms of what it's encompassing as far as community is concerned.
What they're trying to do is they're trying
Las
to
Vegas.
They're trying to eliminate the Las Vegas theme stigma from the name of the team. Terrible. It'll never happen, by the way.
What, the name change?
Yeah, no. There'll be Las Vegas something or other.
Yeah, Reno's always trying to hog in on everything.
Well, Reno had nothing to do with this one.
No, I know.
I mean, they love it. Of course they would love it,
Sure.
but it's not going to happen.
Let them get their own hockey team.
That's right.
Well, what they're saying is Bill Foley, the Florida billionaire who's pushing for the NHL team at the new arena being built by the MGM on the Strip, he's the one that's preferring using Nevada instead of Las Vegas in the team's official
Well, sure,
name.
because he doesn't live here.
So
Yeah.
he partnered with the Maloof brothers, is partnering with the Maloof brothers, trying to get an NHL team here. And I'm surprised that I always believed that it was going to be baseball that would have the best shot of being
would
the
think so,
first
too.
major league sport to come to Las Vegas, not hockey. I'm very surprised by that.
I'm not.
I think the only reason is, I mean, we've all been out to Cashman Field, and it gets pretty damn hot out there sometimes.
Well, that's no matter what field you're in, it's going to be that way unless they build a dome stadium.
I know.
But anytime that they were talking about bringing a Major League Baseball team, was always going to include a new stadium because
Right.
a 20,000 seat or whatever what the max is at Cashman's not going to house a Major
Right.
League team. So,
but at least hockey's cool.
Yeah, you can put it on ice for a while and, come back to it later.
One thing I heard about it was the reason why they were looking to go hockey before Major League Baseball is because they said there were more people, hockey fans coming from the Philadelphia, New York, Chicago area that were into hockey that would follow their teams that they moved here. So people that are into the Boston Bruins that moved from Boston would buy tickets to see the Boston Bruins play the Vegas team, such as Philadelphia for the Flyers or the Rangers or wherever, Chicago or wherever it means. So I heard that was one of the big things, that you have more hockey fans moving to the Vegas area than what baseball fans are.
I think you're right. All the people in the witness protection program.
Okay. Hockey itself needs to make a splash. All right, they are the fourth sport, and deeply fourth. All right, and in order to make a splash, wind up in Las Vegas, that would be a big kudo for them.
But I'm not sure I agree with that thinking of what the philosophy was, what you just shared, because to me, let's say, and here's why. When
There's a lot more Yankee fans.
That's
there.
right. There's a lot more baseball. I mean, Major League Weekend at Cashman's coming up in a couple of weeks in the middle of March. You've got Oakland and Chicago coming in to play that weekend, okay, the two teams. There are
you guys throwing out the pitch this year?
Yeah, well, I'm leaving
Not for that game.
Not for that game. I'm leaving that up to him to arrange. There are a ton of Chicagoans in this town that will follow their team. That place will be packed that weekend with Chicago Cubs fans. When the Yankees go out west to play the Angels and they go out and play the A's,
They fill the stadium.
They fill the stadiums. They want to see the Yankees. So I don't know that I agree with the hockey philosophy as much as I do. Huh?
I do.
But here's the thing. A hockey arena is only going to put 18 to 20,000 people in there. A baseball stadium is going to hold 35 to 50,000. And if as someone coming from the East Coast, I'd rather see the Yankees come into town than the Devils.
Okay.
That's just me.
That's it.
But I think that I don't know that I buy the hockey philosophy, because hockey here is not a grass-rooted sports in the middle of the desert. Yeah. Because look how long it's taken for the Coyotes to catch hold down in Arizona, the Tampa Bay Lightning in Florida. These are non-traditional hockey locations that took some time when they first moved those franchises there to hook into. You don't think if the Tampa Bay Rays moved out of Tampa Bay and they came to Las Vegas because it's Major League Baseball and the Yankees and the Red Sox and all of these American League teams come to Vegas, that you're not going to get a packed house of 30, 40, 50,000 people for a weekend?
I think you would. At his point, I agree with him at his point of what he's saying, too. I mean, sports is sports. Anyhow, to let you guys know, I filled out all the information for us here at Vegas Unwrapped, and they're going to let us know February 10th is when you can say I'm in for season tickets, okay? But I filled out the information to bring NHL to Las Vegas, so they say they will be back in touch with us and give us news updates.
Excellent.
Good job.
Cool.
Another day, February 10th, is a big event is happening in town on the 10th next week. Do you know what it is?
I know AVN has been here already.
No, it's not a convention. That was last month.
Yeah. The camel toes have left town, sir.
That's right. They've charted it. They've trotted off.
Took their cupcakes with them.
The Clarion Hotel will be biting the dust on the 10th. The old
Clarion.
Debbie Reynolds.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The old Debbie Reynolds on Convention Center Drive will become a pile of dust.
Implosion.
Yes, on the 10th, going with our many, many other celebrated implosions. I put a short video on Vegas Unwrapped's fan page of some of the
I saw that.
explosions and implosions over the last couple of years,
What day is that on?
Tuesday.
The 10th is a Tuesday.
Is it?
Yes, it is. So, all right, we're at the bottom of the hour. We're going to step aside for a break as we get ready to do some weird news. Some other things that are going to take place in the last 30 minutes. Who knows?
Who knows?
Could be,
Shadow knows.
Could be just like last week.
Could be just like last week. Yeah, I don't know we could do that twice in a row. Unless we talk about bull knuckles.
I don't think it has the same impact.
No, I don't think so either. No. We'll be back with more of something right after this.
Now you tell me. music comes on.
That's a great one for the editing.
Great time.
This is a good one for the editing.
Welcome back to Vegas Unwrapped.
Yeah, let's talk about that little book you got in your hand.
We're back.
Yeah, let's see.
Who remembers the old dice clocks?
Yes.
You guys should definitely remember those.
I remember the dice that you'd put on the car, of course, where they show, of course, in Greece, right? With the
fuzzy dice.
Yeah, the ones that hang from your
Yeah.
your rear view mirror. Those were cool. How much does it cost, by the way, to get a new headlight?
Depends if it's just the bulb or the whole unit.
No, it's the bulb. It's the bulb.
What year is your car?
It's a 2005.
Oh yeah, it's got a plug-in bulb. Less than $20.
Okay, so
About $900 in labor.
AutoZone, they'll put it
I'll
in
do
for
it for $450.
So if I get the bulb, you'll be able to put it in?
Sure.
All right.
What kind of car you got again?
It's that Chevy
It's an Edsel.
Avio.
The what? Oh, the Avio. Yeah,
Avio.
the little Avio. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's Cammy's car.
Yeah.
All right, fascinating but meaningless stuff about Las Vegas.
Oh, cool.
How's
I
that?
like that. Yeah, meaningless,
We'll do a couple of
fascinating
minutes
stuff.
of that, and then we'll get into weird news for the last segment. How's that?
Okay.
All right, here you go. You ready? The light at the top of the Luxor and the Great Wall of China are the only two landmarks astronauts can identify from outer space.
That is correct.
Yes,
I
true.
knew that.
Oh, is this a true-false thing?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
How many miles of neon, if you stretch out every piece of neon that's in this town, how many miles of neon is
I
in
know
Vegas?
this.
Twice around the world.
Okay,
So that's about 16,000 miles.
okay.
29,483 miles.
About 12,000 miles of neon.
See, I knew I knew that.
I was close.
How many hotels does Vegas have out of the 20 largest hotels in the world?
Wow, it used to be...
We used to tell people this in time.
It used to be 8. I'm going to say it's now 8.
Used to be 8, now it's still 8.
Yeah, it's still 3.
You've got 3?
I say 2.
How about 15 of the top 20 largest
Whoa.
hotels?
Really?
Oh, I thought you were talking about top 10. You had said top 20 originally?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh,
Top 20 of the
Can I
world's
mention,
hotels.
All right, 15.
Well, I just figured with Dubai, we had kind of dropped down some, but
Yeah, those guys are building over there.
yeah, no kidding.
Well, also in Macau and in Singapore.
And they have no.
Where Caesars can't get a gaming license.
How about the one hotel that doesn't have a waste system?
What?
They built a hotel over there, and they have to take the waste out in trucks.
Ooh.
A sewer system.
Find out where this place is, and we do not go on
No,
tour
we
there.
don't recommend that.
That's a real shitty place.
It is.
I guess at the craps table, it's a whole new meaning. How long did the show Follies Bergère play at the Tropicana?
I know.
28 years.
Nope.
I'm going to say,
Oh,
let's
wait,
say...
longer than that.
Sure, it's been playing since the 60s. So let's say...
It was the oldest.
I'm going to
show.
say
right.
51 years.
Okay.
49 years.
Well, according to the book, it opened in 1959. Last performance was early 2009. By my count, that's an even 50 years.
Yeah.
What I say,
It
51.
was the longest running show in Vegas.
It was. Now what?
Did you ever see it?
Yes, multiple times.
Did you like it?
I love
yeah.
it. It was the best show, and I've seen
Absolutely.
Jubilee.
Yeah.
I've seen them all, but Folies Bergère
Well-
was the best.
Jubilee is a whole new show since last year. They've redone everything in there.
Well, they had to bring in new girls. I mean, after a while, down to
All
their
flow-
weight.
Yeah, it wasn't
flowing
the
those
same
girls
girls in the Follies.
Bruise their knees.
You know who at the station? You all know Miss Irma, our social media director. Her God bless, she lost her mic. But he worked on Folies Bergère for years and years as
Really?
a set designer and construction and sound and master of all trades. There, what a great guy he was.
The western wing of the MGM Hotel was actually what old hotel that was renovated and added as part of the MGM?
Wow. That's a great question.
This is the new MGM, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
because...
Not the old MGM, which is now Bally's.
No. I don't know.
Wait.
Wait a second, let me think.
Because I don't remember it. And I've been out here
wait,
since the
wait.
70s.
Man, I almost want to say the Silverbird or the Rancho.
No, Rancho
El
was...
Rancho,
El
yeah.
Rancho was up by the...
Yeah, farther up.
Up by Sahara.
Yeah.
Turn. That's a good one.
It was the old Marina Hotel Casino, which instead of being torn down was renovated and assimilated into the MGM Hotel.
Never heard of it.
Let's see. How often is the word "I do" said in Las Vegas?
Oh, man.
On average.
In a daily or-
what time
In the context of a marriage. In other words, how many marriages? Two people times about, let's say I'd say about 6,000
a day?
Every
a year.
no. How many minutes
Oh.
is the word I do said in Las Vegas?
Oh, how many minutes?
Every what? How often is it said every... How many minutes is the words I do said in Vegas?
Oh, okay.
Well, I heard there's a wedding here every 7 minutes.
Okay.
That's what I've heard.
So you got 7.
I got 7.
14.
14.
19.
5. Ooh. Approximately every 5 minutes, the words I do ring out. How many chapels are there in Las Vegas, including those inside the casinos?
God.
58.
Okay.
167.
That's crazy.
There's got to be at least 100.
There are well over 100 chapels to choose from in Las Vegas.
All right.
Vegas hosts how many weddings annually? Approximately.
Man, I saw this on the news the other day.
Well, figure it out. Over 100. So let's say 150 chapels, 5 a day. So 3 a day.
No,
so
every
there-
5 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
Stop. How many weddings? So let's say 450 times 365. That's a lot of frickin' weddings.
1,500.
No, it's a good 12,000.
I'd say it was 20,000.
How about over 130,000 weddings annually are held?
Wow.
And there are well over, of course, it's well documented that most of those weddings happen on Valentine's Day.
Right.
Over 20,000 weddings on average performed in Vegas. Locals call it St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Does that count the ones that only last like 54 hours?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Britney Spears, I don't think, is in that count. So, all right, I thought that was fun to kind of share some of those
Yeah,
facts.
that's excellent.
And you know what it's almost time for? Go ahead, what you got?
No, I'm glad.
No, what you got?
Well, you were mentioning in the marriages and the wedding parlors and all that, right? Mm-hmm. Well, our good friends of the Castells and the Leonardi trying to put a supper club. Do you know the guy that owns all those chapels down there? You know what he's getting ready to open up down in there?
Supper club.
A 500-seat supper club down there.
Wow.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
But he's doing it on the Strip.
Yeah, he's doing it on the Strip.
Yeah, Sandy and Mike are not looking to do it on the Strip. They're looking to do it in the locals arena. So.
That's where we want to go.
All right, it is time for when we come around from our break. It is time for the part of the show that makes us realize we're really normal, or more normal than we hoped
good luck
for.
with
My
that.
favorite part.
Weird news
How's that working out for
of
you?
the world coming up on the other side of the break. We'll be right back.
Ricky Cash has a fan club?
Yes, I know. Find out more at VegasUnwrapped.net.
How much time?
Okay.
About 10 minutes.
That's 2 in a row we got him tonight on, man.
All right, it is that time. The time of the show where we actually can feel good about ourselves when we hear the stories from around the world that make us realize we might be better off than we thought.
Yeah.
Mr. Cash, take it away.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Oh, God.
And this is a thought producer for everybody. Kathy Fedden filed a $30 million wrongful death lawsuit in December against Suffolk County, New York police after her 29-year-old son, driving drunk in 2013, fatally crashed into an office. She reasons that the son's death is the fault of the police officer who had stopped him earlier that evening, who must have noticed that he was already drunk but did not arrest him. The officer, who knew the son as an owner of a popular with police local delicatessen, merely gave the son a lift home, but the son later drove off in his mother's car in which he had the fatal crash. Interesting. No dead air, guys.
No, I'm just letting that process a little bit.
It just
Ironies. This is a rather ironic story.
Okay.
Timothy Defoe, 56, was sentenced in January to 25 years in prison on child pornography charges, unable to keep his illicit online transactions hidden from law enforcement authorities. Before his conviction, he was acting director of cybersecurity in the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and one would assume, wrongly, an accomplished user of security software.
That's good stuff.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
A generous resident, name withheld by KDKA-TV of South Oakland, Pennsylvania, in seasonal spirit the week before Christmas, invited a pregnant, homeless woman she had met at a Rite Aid store home with her for a hot shower, a change of clothes, and a warm bed for the night. The resident, however, was forced to call the police, though, when she went to check up on her guest and discovered her engaging in sexual activity with the resident's pit bull. The quest enraged at being the guest, enraged at being caught, vandalized the home before officers arrived to arrest her.
Recurring themes. We'll like this one. This will make Mr. Cash squeeze his cheeks a little bit. In weird news and medical literature, the rectum is a place for storage of contraband and occasionally for getting things undesirably lodged. In what a National Post of Canada reporter believes is a brand new example of the former, a gastroenterologist at Vancouver St. Paul's Hospital found a vial of urine inside a man who reported to the ER with abdominal pains. According to the doctor's medical journey case description, the rectum was chosen in order to keep the urine at body temperature for an imminent methadone clinic drug test, which, if the urine passed clean, would have entitled the man to the privilege of take-home methadone that he could either bank for later use or sell on the street. He feared the loss of privilege, though, if the urine tested at room temperature.
He certainly belongs in least competent criminals.
That's one hot shot.
Here's one that
That's a pisser of a story.
Here's one that was not well thought out. Shane Lindsay, 32, allegedly robbed the Citizens Bank of New Kensington, Pennsylvania on January 14th and ran off down the street, but was arrested about 15 minutes later, a few blocks away, having stopped off at Ease's Restaurant and Deli to order chicken and biscuits.
Got another one?
Yeah. Jeffrey Wood, 19, was arrested in the act of robbing a 7-Eleven in Northeast Washington, D.C. on January 10th because two plainclothes detectives were in the store at the time, though the police badge on one was hanging from a chain around her neck. As soon as the man announced, "This is a stick-up," the detective drew her gun and yelled, "Stop playing! I've got 17," meaning a gun with 17 bullets.
After a heavy snowstorm in Frankfort, Kentucky, which is the state capital, in November, with many absences reported, the state labor policy agency, called the Labor Cabinet, was among the agencies needing snow removal at its headquarters more promptly than overworked cleanup crews could provide. A call was circulated for volunteers to go outside and shovel snow, but that job was apparently too laborious for the labor agency. There was only one taker.
Boo. All right. Save my best for last.
Go for it.
Lead story, Big Tent Mentality. The Project Theater Board at Mount Holyoke College in South Hadley, Massachusetts, decided in January to cancel its upcoming annual presentation of the feminist classic Vagina Monologues. The all-women's college recently declared it would admit males who lived and identified as females regardless of genitalia, and the basis for the cancellation of Vagina Monologues was that those unmodifiable script is not inclusive of those females, that it covers only the experiences of females who have vaginas.
Aha.
Aha.
The new
How come
normal.
they weren't showing that when I was up there?
The new normal.
The new normal?
The website smartphone app Airbnb, the letter B&B, launched in 2008, connects travelers seeking lodging with individuals offering private facilities at certain prices. About a year ago, entrepreneur Travis Laurendine launched a similar smartphone app called Airbnb to connect people walking around select cities and needing access to a toilet, listing residents who make their utilities available.
P&P.
With description and price, of course. Laurendine told the New York Post in January that New York City is a promising market, though his two best cities are New Orleans and Antwerp, Belgium. The prices vary from free to $20, and the facilities range for a sweet-smelling room stocked with reading material to a barely maintained toilet with no lavatory. But said one supplier, sometimes people really need to go, and this will have to do.
P&P. Does that stand for pee and poop?
Listen, that is directly from an episode of Seinfeld.
I'm sure.
Where Kramer came up with that idea.
I found an app that will actually tell you when's the time to go to the bathroom during movies. and I'll talk about that on
That's
next
cool.
week's show.
Oh, I can't
I
wait.
saw it on TV.
Hey, before we go,
Yes.
you guys have been good for the whole show.
Uh-oh,
And as I
uh-oh.
promised, I
Wow.
brought everybody a candy bar.
Our after-school
So
treats.
see,
Man,
see what
thank you,
happens when you're
Tom.
good?
Ah,
Yeah,
this is a good thing.
boy.
Thank you, Mr. Styles.
You're welcome,
Yeah.
boy.
Before the show, I tried to sneak a look in the bag, and all I saw was one Musketeers. And I'm thinking to myself, that cheap son of a bitch. You know?
We're going to have to share one Musketeers bar.
Well,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for Vegas Unwrapped. Here's a surprise. There were no guests but us tonight. We want to thank you for sticking with us. We'll be back on the air next week. Enjoy the week, everybody. Stay tuned for BCN Talk, the radio show where businesses listen to thrive. I'm Aaron Phillips, along for Ricky Cash, JPeg, Bobcat, Mr. Cash. Be kind to each other, sir. Why is that?
We are all we have.
Have a great week, everybody, from Vegas Unwrapped. We'll see you next week. Right back here.